Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2, the Netherlands edition, where last episode I did something crazy. I implemented my above ground train line. I now have an elevated train line running through our Tri-City area, which has gone actually really well. It's actually turned out to be quite profitable, and it solved all the traffic problems between these three cities. Who would have thought, guys? You implement public transport and people use public transport. Wild, right? Can't relate. But this was a test one. It was a dry run to see what it would be like to implement such a format that I could maybe integrate it on a wider network, which will allow people to travel to an airport. I know, right? I know. There was mixed feelings, mixed emotions about this. There's lots of ways in which we can improve it, which we're going to do today. And I like you guys saying, Seniac, why have you built an electrified line and still use diesel trains? And then my response was to save money. And then you guys' response was, Seniac's worried about money right now, and he has what? 11 billion in the bank? You guys, you make a good point. Okay, fine. You make a good point. We'll take these three lines. Let me manage vehicles. Line, it's going to be line 1 to, is it 1 to 3? 1, 2, 3. Because I haven't named all the other lines, which is all the bus routes, by the way. And we're going to replace these right now. Fine. We'll do multi-unit electric. Look at this. Metro liner. You guys happy now? I mean, it will reduce the emissions, so it does turn out pretty good in the end. They are a lot more quieter than their previous counterpart. So, today then, we're actually going to implement the airport, wildly enough. And I want to do it in this location, but we got a lot of things that we need to kind of figure out and sort out. We first need to figure out, one, the positioning of it. It might mean that I need to reclaim these little lakes here, because we got to figure out where the flight path is going to run, and making sure that we avoid as many cities as we possibly can. We'll never be able to get around it. We're going to be flying over at least 1 or 2 cities. It is what it is. And then we got to figure out the best way to implement public transport leading over. Now, with the idea of the elevated line, great. My idea would be to run an elevated line from Amsterdam to Rotterdam. Now, I know in real life, that's mental, okay? The distance between the two is wild. But I feel like here, it could work, okay? It could actually work right now. And then from that line, we'll integrate other lines coming off it. This is going to be an absolute nightmare, okay? Nightmare, but if it works out, it's going to be absolutely fantastic at the same time. So first things first then, airports. Now we're going to go big passenger. I want the big boy right now, and this is the size of it. Now wherever we put it, we got to make sure the runways are running in this parallel. So that's where the flights will kind of go up and then they'll turn, obviously, but we want to try and avoid as much of the city as we can, which means we're going to need to reclaim some land. So let's see, if we're going to come off here, come down and then go, maybe turn to go up and then go that way. We want the road here. So I'm going to reclaim at the minute just these 2 lakes to begin with. So flatten. Increase the brush size, increase the strength, and unfortunately then fill the lakes in. Oh no. Seniac is doing what the Dutch do best and reclaiming land from the water. Maybe not from the lakes. Those Dutchies love claiming land from the sea. But there we go. There we go. That's 1 done. And let's get this second one now done, and then we'll go over on a big smoothie run right now to make it as flat as we can. It's never going to be perfect. It's such a large landmass that I'm working with here. It's never going to be perfect. Right, so next I am going to create a little road coming off this. So this is all just placeholder at the moment. I'm going to build that to there, build you this way, and then build you this way. So that there will be the run or the parallel line the airport would run off. So if I built it like this, right, we might not actually have to reclaim the other lake. So if I put you, let's just go here with this. Right, let's just go there. We are then going to configure it and just quickly add in. Wait, hold on. Why can't I add the additional runway stuff? Am I too early in the years? I've got the right airport, right? Passenger airfield, yeah. For 2 runways. Am I too early? It's 1978. Have we not yet unlocked secondary runways? I don't think we have. I actually don't think we have, which is fine for now. It's fine for now. Hopefully that now plays ball. So that's its positioning. Now, all I'm really focused on at the moment is, of course, implementing the elevated train station. So if I get rid of this, don't need that at the min. And I could actually have it elevated, or I could have a train station here that stays on the ground. Now, I think elevated's the best way to go about it. So, building-wise, I want the elevated. I'm going to do... Is 6 too many? Because we have to think about... Or, no, I reckon 4. Because we've got to think about multiple lines in multiple directions and obviously making sure we have multiple options in which they can run to. Providing, let me find a good example. Let me find a good example right now. Providing, I mean, I could set it up like this where there's individual lines running, but providing I do the double slips just right. Where's a good example of this? Maybe Amsterdam. Providing we do the slips just right, we can lead in all different types of directions, couldn't we? So it shouldn't really be a problem. Right, let me configure this then. We're going to delete the buildings. I want the main building to be maybe more centralized. So put you there. I'll have passenger terminals either side. Now, it's going to be a passenger airport. So we want passenger terminal. We'll do 4 of them. And then, of course, a hangar at the very end. So that should work out pretty well for us. And then we'll have to wait for the era where I can then build a second runway, but we've got plenty of space. So with that said, then we're going to bring the road coming a little bit further down. And then we'll build said elevated train station, which I'm going to do 6. I know it seems quite a lot, but I think that will be okay. So if I built you here... Okay, let's do high speed first. Now, do I do pillars now? Because we don't have any road around to kind of like get in the way, I think we could maybe get away with pillars. So let's configure this real quick. And let's do the buildings. Oh, and of course, I kind of mess it all up. Right, but that will still work out anyway. Right, put you there, you there, you there, you there. Do entrances. That's a bit too close. Right, I'm going to be honest with you right now. This might be a bit too close for us. But I suppose it doesn't really matter in reality, does it? Right, did the same thing on the opposite side. And then build a road. So coming off this. Going down here. Get rid for just a min. Right. So that there is the center of our global transportation company. Now, you might be wondering, okay, so Nick, you've built an airport. Where are we going to be flying to? Right, listen, don't ask that question at the minute, because I don't have the answer for it. So, let me first now just sort out the train track. So, coming out this way, and we need to... Right, I think it's best I just go bam, bam, 2. And just bring you to there. Now, we're hoping that we can bring all this in together. No questions asked. Now, is it better for me to have it all run in a straight line? Like, for example, if I built all this here, it might be better for me to... not have it run in a straight line and have the option to go in multiple directions. So how close do we take it before we're able to do the bend? Is that as close as we're going to want to take it? To perform said bend, which then that would run to there. Because we need to do like the double slip method, which should be able to take place then as early as here. So no matter what direction you're coming from... Right, it's too soon that. That means it's going to be a bit longer. So like I said, so no matter what direction you're coming from, what line you're on, you can crisscross to any line, any platform, any station with relative ease. Is the whole point behind this. Right, there we go with that. So that's in. So every little section right now, we got to throw the double slip in, which there'll be 4 on both sides of the crisscross. So 1 there and there, 1 there, 1 there. That's your 4 there done. So there's 1 there, 1 there. Then there's 1 there, and there's 1 there. So now I can then split 3 lines in 3 different directions. So for example, what the left lane can come down and then turn to go in this direction, which will then go through Amsterdam and end there. I got one that goes straight ahead, could eventually maybe lead down to our Tri-City connection. And then the one to the right can maybe turn to go through Rotterdam. And then off it goes. Who knows in what direction. Now, it doesn't have to stay elevated, okay? It does not need or have to stay elevated. I could integrate it, for example, on the line down below here, which will kind of, you know, make them all connected a little bit better, which is probably what I might make one of the lines actually do. But more importantly, it doesn't matter what line you're on. As soon as you get to this crisscross here, the double slip method, you can then utilize any stationary platform and then continue to go in any other direction. So I've got to continue that fashion over on this side then. So bringing you out, and we're going up by 2. There we go. So once this is built, I'm all good. I've got the freedom to do whatever we would like. So bring you down. Now, is it about there that I did it last time? I'm going to assume it is. For me to bend in. No, too much curvature. So let me do it on this side. So let's just say we go there instead. So delete you. Put you back into there. Right, we should be able to... yeah, perfectly connect up. There we go. And I'm hoping now, with this distance here... Well, what seems to be the issue here then? I can't do it. Am I picking too close or something? I think I might have been picking it a little bit too close. Yeah, we're not long enough. So just fine-tuning it. It's just a way to go forward a bit more. Right, I'll go a little bit further. No, still not liking what I'm trying to accomplish. We'll do it there. Too much curvature? What are you talking about? Right, what's the issue here now? Huh? Right, why all of a sudden... Hang on, there's something not right here, is there? There's something not right. There's something fishy going on with one of these little sections. Right, I think that... there we go, has now solved it. Not quite sure what was going on there. Right, what's good? Right. Am I now... How am I now underground? Right, this is not playing ball. There we go. Right, 20 years later, we eventually got there. So let's just quickly do the double slips on all of these then. So like I said before, there's 4 on either side. Where is this one? There we go. That's them 4 then done. You're done. You're done. You're done. Right, done in both directions. What a station this is going to be. So last thing I want to do now is just maybe fine tune it just that tad bit more. That tad bit more, boys. We'll go miscellaneous. We'll add the additional extensions on the canopies. And then because it's elevated, it's something I didn't do on the other platform. Is add the railing in so people can't fall off on either end. Now, we don't need to implement this, I don't think, here. Oh, we can on the end of the platforms. So safety first, guys. Safety first with the railings. Safety first. Look at that infrastructure. That is crazy. So that means then I could have a line coming from here on the right side line here. But then if I wanted it to then to go to Rotterdam, I needed to then to crisscross to the left line to go down there. So that's why I needed that big infrastructure. I'm going to have a line from Amsterdam coming on the top one, going in here. Then it's going to have to cross over to go down that way. And that now allows me to do it while also utilizing all the platforms if I really, really wanted to. Right. Fantastic. So, shall we set up a line to Amsterdam to Rotterdam? Oh, I'm probably going to end up regretting this. I probably am going to end up regretting this. Yes, I most likely I am. Now, I'm going to try and do it like we've done over here, like where we have the station above the train, the actual train station, start there. And then we have another stop just as we're about to leave the city to give us more connection and radius. Now, before I do anything, there seems to be a lot of people waiting down here right now. I'm going to add a second train to this line. I do need to eventually go around and like do a bunch of upgrades and stuff. And how long is that line? And it's only got 2 trains on. I'll duplicate another 2 more. There we go. There we go. Oh, and there's a lot of people waiting over here as well. This is on the Zandvoort to Zaandam. Oh, snap. That is now a considerably longer line. I'll add 2 more trains on that. It's more about increasing the rate than anything else. Yeah, the same over here. That's what we're trying to solve right there. Right, I am getting sidetracked. They are sidetracking me right now, but we're all good. We're all good. We're all good. Okay, so this is going to be a tricky one then. This really is going to be a tricky one. And this is now putting my infrastructure to a whole nother level. Right. So I think Amsterdam will be pretty easy to do, if I'm being honest with you. It's Rotterdam where I'm going to have the big issues because the city is a little bit all over the place. Right, if I can kind of build across, bend round, and have another stop just at the end. So I think I might need to build this stop first, if I'm being honest. And... oh, we've got new... wait, hold on. When did the year change that I've now got new elevated train stations? New designs. Right, that's kind of annoyed me right now. So, what? Wait, can I now upgrade the airport? Oh, my goodness me. All this happened, I didn't even know. Right. Bam. 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 I'm not sure if I've done that right, but I'll probably end up readjusting it when we eventually have planes coming and going. Right, I'm going to actually upgrade this this section right now. I know we can do it somehow. It's train. And upgrade with circle. And just upgrade station to current era. Now, this is within the circle. So there we go. It's now upgraded. Mainly the overhead platform things is what it's done. I want it to look kind of slightly modern because it's going to have a nice vibe. Right, anyway, sidetracked again. 2, and I make it a 120, and I want it to kind of come down this road here. So fine-tune this as best as I can, but it's never going to work out well no matter what I do. And I don't want any pillars, just to kind of save me a little bit. And, oh, I might do what I did on the other one, create the L brackets. Because that was a really handy way to kind of build the platform and the station with relative ease. So, buildings, all I've got to do, if I'm not mistaken, is that right? Yeah. And then, bam. Bam. So it's just about creating like an L bracket, which gives us a support on one side, which should hold us up pretty nice. And that gives us quite a wide radius in Rotterdam here. So it's just one, like, it's basically one additional stop just before it leaves the town. The bus stops are just here as well. So it's only a short walk to it. It's not a big problem. As this then kind of comes out and then goes up, or will start to turn up in that direction. To be honest with you, we could maybe have another stop just here in Leiden. Unless I save a dedicated line coming into Leiden. That's completely separate. Maybe. We'll have to take a rain check on that. Depends on how mental this is going to look. So, if I was to get the train tracks, and let's say I decided to create a bend. Oh, no. Create a bend. It's a 90-degree bend right there. Bring it up by 2. Or maybe we slightly turn it like this. I feel like there could be another station here. It would make sense, wouldn't it? It's on the outskirts of Leiden, then it doesn't really fully connect up. But it would seem such a waste to kind of go through there and not have a station here. Yeah, it really would feel like a waste. Now, we do have the tram stops nearby. So we'll integrate those as a part of it. So the stops in question are just here and here. So if I was to have... if I was just to have this here, for example, and put it on that side and create our brackets, it's a short walk to that station just there. Or the stops, I should say, not the station. And let me go for these ones. They seem to work pretty well. So that one there. That one there. Implement you in. Implement you in. Right, very good. Very good. Okay, so let me now bring this out. So running in a straight line, but keeping this elevated by 2. So that then should maintain the height for us. And then coming out from this. So if you come off from the platform, you don't... Right, just one there. You don't get the... Oh, do I do 2? It looks like it's going up then, doesn't it? You don't get the pillars if you come off the platform, is what I'm trying to say. Right, I'm going to play around it myself because I know the land's dropping off, which makes it look like it's going uphill. Same with that one. Right, implement you to there. It kind of goes with the land, though, doesn't it, at the same time? So, go up by 2. I suppose where it all depends on where you kind of raise it from or where you decide to be up by 2 from. So bending you round and in. Granted, it is now all weirdly elevated. There's some of it I could maybe, you know, I could theoretically change it to be having pillars. But it's trying to upgrade the whole strip, which for now I'll kind of just leave as it is. That runs to there, and then this needs to connect into here. So I'm going to bend this as crazy as I had to previously. So I can bring you naturally going straight first. And then bringing this then out. And I can see them meeting about here. So keeping that as it is. Yeah, it does destroy some buildings, but they will generate back. Right, to there. Bring you about to there, and then all the way in. So we do get the pillars on this one, and it stops to that certain degree there. So what I think I might do is delete you and you, and then delete you and you, and then choose to have this elevated. And there's a bridge pillar collision issue. So maybe just on that strip then, there's some support, okay? So before you come at me in the comments, like even from last episode, where you're like, Seniac, do support structures not exist in 1970 odd? No, they don't. But they do now. Right, there we go. And the rest can stay. The rest is being held up by imagination, okay? But we got some support structures in anyway. Right, that is interesting. So, okay. Okay. So I can have another line that goes straight here that comes through Leiden and maybe stops there. Or I can have the middle line coming through here, maybe at this station as well, to turn to go to Den Haag, having the right one go to Leiden. I don't think I'll have anything going down towards Zandvoort, because it doesn't need to go everywhere, only where it makes sense. You know what I mean? So I might make it go for there to then turn to go up to Den Haag. So the elevated line is different from the main line, and I can then do a turn this way. So we can finally then have a line that goes from Rotterdam to Den Haag. But then I know we have the oh no, we actually don't have a transport route going that way, do we? It's just then coming into Den Haag, I would have to kind of figure out a way to make it make sense. But you know, that's future Sunny X issue, okay? Future Sunny X issue. Right, all I've got to do then is bring that down to connect into Rotterdam. But let me just do this direction first. So we're now going to bring it up here. And we'll have a stop around here then for Amsterdam. And usual suspect again. We'll do the overhang on one side. Create these little L brackets. Just makes it a little bit easier for us, like I said. Alright, one there. One there. And if we can squeeze them in, it's a bonus. But I don't think we'll be able to get them in both sides. So just that is okay for now. Now, this is going to be my interesting and my questioning that I'm now going to have. Question. Elevated here. The planes will be way in the sky before that, right? Is that considered dangerous? I'm not too sure yet. Now, this is technically a little bit lower, but I'm bringing it lower because of the train line. Now, we're going to connect this from the most left side here. So if I brought that to there, brought you to there, and then bring this further down. Now, this is not too up in the sky. This is a lot lower. So if I delete, but that's because of the airport more than anything. And then that gives us room here. If I wanted to merge that in the lower line, I can then, in the gap in between, can transition downwards. Right, I'm going to delete to there in hopes that I can, yes, add those in. Right, there's bridge pillar collision issues. But not if you come from the station. Right, this is now looking beautiful. Look at that line. Look at that line, boys. Fantastic. Damn. This, I honestly feel like as well, this might be like a super busy line. So we might need to be a little bit careful. Yeah, we might need to be a little bit careful with this. Okay, okay, okay. But it gives us a lot of opportunities. So we're going across here, which might then eventually go over to Permanent. Who knows? That's for us to decide in the future. Right. We'll do a little bit longer on this because we might see more people waiting at this station than any of the other stations. And we'll drop it there. And then configure. Hoping I can get some of these connections then down, which do work out really well there. But that's not over enough for a stop on this side. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Even though it doesn't need to be, because just stopping there is fine enough. But it would be nice to have a stop on this side. So if I built these in both sides, can't do anything on that one, but I can on this one. But I suppose it doesn't matter, providing if only I could use the move it tool. Right, bring you to there. And then bring you in. Okay, that's all I needed to do. And now we have a connection underground. Not underground, underneath it, I should say. Right. Can I now build a line to there with the least amount of destruction? The answer's no. There's going to be some form of destruction somewhere. So at least run it as straight as we can. Like I said, there's going to be some form of destruction somewhere. But maybe if we can bring you a bit further out, the bend won't destroy that many buildings. This is the hard bit in this. Ooh. The wiggle it now. Some buildings are going to have to get destroyed, unfortunately. It's just deciding which. Now, I'm going to maybe delete... no, I'm not. No, I'm going to delete you. And you. I'll bring it half the distance of what I previously first built. And then what do we lose there? So I think the bend's a little bit better. So minimal buildings got destroyed, leading into Amsterdam. That's crazy, isn't it? Now, if I bought a line coming up this way, I would crisscross it over this one if I was to bring it down to there. That's just hypothetically speaking, like for a future thing if I eventually do it. But just that stop alone here gives us this little bit of radius. Not much, but it all helps. It all helps. We could maybe try and integrate our bus routes a little bit more. Or I push this here. I think that stop there might be better a bit closer. Because it will have a better radius. So I'm going to get rid of it. So if I got rid of it and put it there... Because the stop's just here. There's a tram stop there, and there's a bus stop just there. What's the radius on this one? Yeah, okay. It probably makes more sense to go here. It's just my next issue then is actually getting it in. Right, if I free place it here, so I'm only really moving, oh, is it too long? It might be too long there. I'm only really moving it down a little bit further. But it should give us a better, in theory, radius. Oh, it's the wrong type of building I'm dropping down there. It should in theory give us a better radius for collecting people. I don't know if any of this will go in now. It's too close. And we might now need to fine-tune the train tracks again. So if I delete back without trying to delete anything below me. Slight little deviation and a little bit of a wiggle, but it does the same job. Better radius, and it's not far from the bus stop and the 2 tram stops. Without me having to kind of like reconfigure anything or reposition anything, it does what I need to do. Now, because we're going to treat the Amsterdam stop here as an end route, we do need to do Crisscrossy, which is looking a little bit difficult in that spot anyway, but at least I've got it there. And then we just got to finalize the Rotterdam one right now. So that's going to come straight here and then bend to go in that direction, which this is going to be the hard one now. Right, a little bit longer. And so if I build... It's going to destroy buildings no matter what I do. So let's do it like that. Right. This is now hopes and dreams are coming into play. Solid connection there. Solid connection there. We'll do an L bracket for that one as well. But what I want this to extend to go over, though. Because if so, you would change then the angle. No, because it'll look really weird. We can adjust it in the future. Let's just put it that way. Let's just get it done. Now, this is going to destroy buildings. The way that this is going to be positioned now is going to destroy a lot of buildings. Now, can we counteract that by changing it? Or is it best I come from this side instead? So if I slightly wiggled this and then went ahead with a bend there. Now, what does that truly delete? It only deletes that building. But I'm hoping that pushing this... Right, I'm going to push it to there, which deletes no buildings. Again, no buildings being deleted. Just then trim an edge off. So I'm keeping the whole thing above the road. How I've done that, I don't know. I don't know how I've done that. And I've just got to implement a crisscross. Somehow that has gone in, no complaints. And now I have this line that goes to and from the airport. We're creating a spider's web right now of connections, which I really like. I really like it in a weird way. It is weird. Let's not beat around the bush. But I now have the freedom to connect off multiple lines to go in a multitude of different directions, which is going to be super handy for us. It will eventually get rid of some of the tram lines as well when you think about it. The Leiden to Rotterdam line, tram line, can be replaced with a simple addition. Like there's a stop there. I could have a line going directly down to here. So there's two stops there that come into there, and then one that can maybe go into Rotterdam. So gives us great possibilities. It really does. So that's really trying to benefit from what we currently got. Granted, this stops here right now, which is an awkward spot. It could, in theory, cut across, run down here to turn to go through these two cities. So there is room for it to, the Rotterdam line, to expand a bit further. I just now need to, one, get a train on it, and two, get us actually connected. So I think what I'm going to do next is just come off this here and run it down. Just so I can drop in a building. Right, I have to put that building just there for the trains to run on it. Create a new line. So we'll start on the elevated Amsterdam line, which will be able to utilize both platforms. And I'll make this pink. We're coming down here. I haven't done any signals yet. So that's going to be interesting. It's got to run on the right side. There we go. And then here, which, oh, no, delete you. Here, on the right side, into Rotterdam, which can utilize both sides of the tracks. Back again. Back again. We're going to sort that one out in just a minute. Back again. Amsterdam South. Number 2. So here, you can see how it crosses over. So on the way in, great, using the correct side. But on the way back out, use number 1. Now, I could get him to utilize all the platforms, but seeing as it's the only train at the minute, we'll just do this one. So we're going to call this the Rotterdam to Amsterdam Airport. That's what that line's going to be known as. And if I buy some trains for it, we'll go for... Oh, we've got new... Oh, okay. So these are really high-speed trains. So I think we'll stick to the Metro liners. And I'm gonna buy 6. It seems maybe a little bit overkill. But I really, really have this suspicion that this is going to be quite a busy line. Because I think it might become a faster, more direct route from Rotterdam to Amsterdam than utilizing the loops. Now, granted, we have nowhere for the planes to go yet, okay? We haven't got that far. We haven't got that far. We've just implemented the infrastructure. So I'm going to get rid of that road connection, that road connection. We need to incorporate a road connection in general. For the airport, which will run that road into there. And then for this side, where do we get the connection for this side? Maybe coming directly off that. There we go. We'll do a couple of additional connections anyway. I'll come off just there. This will, of course, will run down. And where's best for this connection? I might actually just run that into there. Run this one into there. So if I bent this around and in. That would run to there anyway. And then run this all the way down. And throw our little bend there. Now, it'd be nice to get the underpass on the connections. So do one there. And just for the sake of it, I'm going to do one here. Or not. So it just makes the whole place a little bit more integrated. And I was hoping it maybe picked up a few spots over there, but I don't think that's going to be the case. But that's fine. You know, that's not what the point of this station is. It's for the airport. It is for the airport. So give that some time right now and just kind of see it unfold. This is a wild system, a wild setup right now. I will eventually reconfigure some of the bus routes and the tram routes to also stop here to have that additional connection. It might then... this is all going to obviously reduce... Oh, signals. Signals. Okay, before anything else right now. Signals. Right, don't want auto sig. We'll do them ourselves. How could I forget signals? Oh my goodness me. That would have been shocking, wouldn't it? Right, back into play mode now because we no longer need to wait. Right, I'm going to space them out myself. There's a bit more control then. Because we won't physically need that many. Just want to position them just correctly so we have a train stopping Oh, that one's there, though, isn't it? So let me just get rid of these two. Could I potentially squeeze in one there? Oh. And there. Hoping we get additional trains waiting there. And then just the last one there. In here. Might be too short here. Well, I'll throw it in anyway. Oh, the trains are pretty short anyway. Well, at the minute they are anyway. At the minute they are. Okay. People are already waiting at the station. I think some people just got picked up as well. People waiting over here. No one's really waiting here yet. I don't think... Wait, did I put the... Yeah, I did put the connections on, so they can walk here. And what about over here right now? There's people starting to wait over there as well. So, interesting. The Amsterdam loop needs more trains, but I want to see if this new line changes anything. It might take away some of the need to utilize the loops. And that will be huge in reality. That would be huge. Right, there seems to be a lot of... Yeah, the Amsterdam to Arnhem right now, which is... Didn't I just add more trains onto that line? I feel like I just did. But I think this might be the reason behind the issues. Yeah, we're backlogged. Is the issue there. That's because that train's coming out. No wonder there was no movement. Oh my goodness me, I need more signals around here, don't I? I'll throw another signal there as well. Right, sorry guys, I didn't realise we were backlogged there. Because I had trains coming out. What a silly place for a signal here, by the way, which backlogs the trains coming out. That then fixes the whole issue, so we shouldn't see those problems again. It's also caused then a little bit of road traffic. Right, all these trains will then slowly then start disappearing, guys. Apologies. Accept my apologies. Right, we'll be back to normal. Maybe that's why the backlog was kind of elsewhere as well in the stations. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Right, we fixed it anyway. We fixed it anyway, so just give it time to just do what it's got to do. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Right, so this is going to be... I'm really concerned about this place, though. Why is it nobody wants to utilize it yet? I would have thought with at least seen somebody making their way over. But maybe it's too early yet. Maybe it's too early to decide. So we still have a connection between the two stations anyway, these two lines, because the tram route will kind of drop them to and from. We might need to maybe look at upgrading the trams on these lines. So we've got these trams here, which are 35. No, they're still the best ones. It might be a case of just maybe duplicating 2 more. Duplicating 2 more just to kind of increase the, again, frequency, but also mainly the capacity. Right, these trains are on it, boys. There's 40 people on this train already. Already on it right now. Already on it. And is my Amsterdam station now slightly cleared? It's slowly getting there. A lot of trains to come out. My bad. My bad, boys. My bad. I kind of made a boober on that one. But it is clearing slowly. Double slippy slips working to their full extent. Lots of trains leaving. Doing what they've got to do. It's just I can't speed the game up any more than it is currently sped up. Right, off the train goes. Another train coming in. And then once that is eventually clearing that signal, we might see another train then leave, which we do. That train's skedaddling. That train's merging through that train. The backlog is real, but we are getting there slowly. Ever so slowly, we'll eventually all be spaced back out again. Right, remember, this is only because I had that backlog. Okay, the trains are now moving. Okay. Yeah, it might have then caused issues in other stations, but they are slowly moving, guys. They are slowly moving. Right, there's a lot of vehicle traffic now getting into this area, but I think that's because the crossroads were caught up for so long. I think that's what it would have been. Right, there's movement. We're moving. We'll slowly get there. We'll slowly get there. So, we've got to figure out then where this airport is going to be going. I don't know where it's going to fly to at the minute. Most obvious place would be out of this area and mainly over in this area. So we got to figure out the best positioning for an airport in this vicinity, which will then make me then have to work a little bit more on infrastructure in connecting these places and cities and towns then up. Because then we need to put more emphasis on it to make it a viable project. But other than that, so far so good, apart from the little backlog I accidentally caused. But I can't wait until we've actually fully integrated this elevated train line to a few more places. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. What's your thoughts on all of this? I'm still not 100% sold. I'm still yet to see anybody physically go to this platform, which does make me slightly worried. It makes you slightly worried that we are connected because the path is there and the path is there, but nobody seems to want to utilize this station. I'm a little bit concerned. Now there is a train on the way. I wonder if anybody gets off here. Hold on, did we actually add this station in? Oh, that's why I haven't even added this station in. What an idiot. Right, so from 4, add station there, and then after the Rotterdam exchange to there. And why are you both on the wrong side of the tracks? Wait, have I done that right? Back to Leiden transfer. Yes. What's the issue? No electric path? What are you talking about? Is it this one? I think I got caught up with the confusion of what it now needed to do. Right, now we've got that connected. Guys, apparently it helps to get passengers on a station if you connect a line up to that station. Apparently it helps. Yeah. Who'd have known, guys? Who'd have known that right now? Not me. Not me. Right, Amsterdam is now more free-flowy. A lot more trains are out of here. A lot more vehicle traffic now moving. We're back in business. Guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. But until next time, I will see you all soon. So, goodbye.